Welcome to Wayzata football as the playoffs begin tonight here at Wayzata High School. Class 6A action. It's the Osseo Orioles visiting the Wayzata Trojans in their first meeting in 10 seasons. And Ryan Iverson joins me. I'm Jay Wilcox. And Ryan, one of the few games on the 6A slate tonight that is a little bit intriguing. There are kind of a lot of games that you kind of know who's going to win already. This is one, though, a little more even. 6-2 Wayzata, 4-4 Osseo.
Yeah, and I think, too, Osseo, we got to see their first game of the year, and they have done nothing but get vastly better since that first game. So they are much improved. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. They had some good wins. They played close against some good opponents. And Wayzata, has been pretty much normal Wayzata, pretty dominant, but a couple of hiccups. So I think tonight's really intriguing and going to be a great game to watch.
Unfortunately, injuries have been a story for both of these teams this year. Wayzata's gotten some of their key guys, including captains, coming back late in the year, where Osseo has still got some issues in that regard. But at the same time, you have to come out and be ready to play against any opponent.
Yeah, and injuries are a part of any football team, right? And you just got to adjust. So it's the next man up mentality. So both teams know who they're coming to bat with tonight. And when it gets to the playoffs, it's always that emotional part, Jay, for seniors, because it's like, whoa, this could be our last game that we ever play football. So there's a lot of emotion, a lot of hard work. You think of all the years and hours and time that you put into it, and that's why it's fun. That's why it's playoff football, because you only get one chance. You got to make the most of it.
Wayzata is a team that's been pretty solid defensively throughout the year, with a couple of hiccups in that Maple Grove game late. Their offense at times has been a little bit hit and miss, and I think they want to establish some things tonight, and they hope going forward. And meanwhile, Osseo looking to counter that.
Yeah, and Wayzata's, the name of their offense is really running the football, controlling the line of scrimmage. When they're able to do that, they can set up play action. They got great receivers on the outside, very good quarterback, two really good running backs. So tonight it'll be interesting to see, can they control the line of scrimmage? Can they run the football? And can Osseo, whether it's just up front or if they're bringing their safeties, their defensive backs, can they stop the run? That's going to be the matchup tonight I'm looking for.
Couldn't ask for better weather for a playoff game. We were talking with the coaches, and no wind, temperature is just about perfect, not too hot, not too cold. So kicking game and passing game, people are looking up and going, yeah, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, they're very lucky, because I can remember being in high school playing late October, having 10, 15 inches of snow in one of our games. So you're absolutely right. The snow doesn't bother you. It's the cold and the wind. So tonight you have no elements. This is just great weather for football. You got fans in the stands. You got CCX covering it. You got everything you need for a great high school football game.
And regular playoffs back this year, too, after not having that last year. And I think that's something that, you sort of take for granted, but now these kids are getting to experience that again.
Well, I could imagine last year knowing you're not going to crown a champion. I mean, that just is, as a competitor, and that's what this is all about, is seeing who the best is. And going forward last year without knowing you're not going to have a state champion, that would have been hard to do. This year it's back to mostly normal, and may the best team win. That's what it's all about.
Both programs won state championships in the 20-teens. We're going to see who advances here in the first round of the 6A playoffs tonight. It's Osseo and Wayzata, and it's next here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. Halloween week. They're fired up in the Wayzata student section. The Trojans as well, as they get a home game here to begin this playoff run, what they hope is a run anyway, on a beautiful clear night here, 48 degrees. And we are underway as the opening kick taken up and over the 30-yard line here. Drew Birkland on the move here for Wayzata. And he is spun down at about the 43-yard line, so great field position for Ryan Harvey and the Wayzata offense here as they get first crack with the football here this evening, trying to set the tone a little bit. Obviously, it's been a little extra time between games here with the end of season. Although Osseo and Wayzata played Thursday, it's still an extra day in between, and kind of a little bit different scenario here with that Friday game on this week, back to regular schedule, if you will.
That was a lot of running on that return.
Yeah, he
side to side. He wanted to take it to the house.
Very interesting. Harvey handing off. Dante Cockrell has a big hole to run through and just tripped up there for the Orioles by Tice Howard. But it'll be a pickup of about 8 on that first down give to Cockrell.
Yeah, and a little different there. That time he had 2 backs in the backfield with a lead blocker. I haven't seen that much this year. There's a look at Ryan Harvey. The thing I always marvel at is that 70% completion percentage. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, takes such good care of the ball, and very accurate, playing with a lot of confidence this year.
Julian Alfaro-Diedrich now shifting into that back slot. Play action here. Harvey looking down the left sideline and overthrows everybody. Good coverage out there for Osseo as Grant Micklem was stuck to him pretty well. We do have a flag down, however, on the play, thrown right in front of the Wayzata bench.
Yeah, this one's coming back 5 yards, which is weird. They usually stop the play before it,
I
before it
wonder
starts.
if this might be an illegal formation.
Yeah.
Yes, illegal formation against Wayzata. So first penalty of the game goes against the Trojans there.
Well, I'll tell you, something to keep an eye on is Wayzata. So much of their passing game are big plays down the field like that. And that time Osseo did a great job. The safety too, Carl Furman, number 13, was also deep. You got to keep those guys in front of you. You don't want to give up that big play.
Here's Harvey on the keeper, getting to the edge and spun down there. Catching up to him was John Lundstrom and got a little help as well. He's back to 3rd and short here to about the 48 as you get a look at the Osseo defense on the left side of your screen, the Wayzata offense on the right side.
A quick decision there by Harvey. I think that was not a designed run. As soon as he realized no one was open, he tucked it, got positive yards, set up that 3rd and short, got those 5 yards back from that penalty.
Cockrell straight up the middle, and he gets a nice hole. Cockrell on the run. There is a flag down, however. He gets to the end zone, but this one might be coming back. Looks like in the spot where you probably are going to see a hold. I don't think a lot of the Wayzata fans realize it. Ryan, you spotted it before I did, and so the excitement will be short-lived. It is indeed a holding call against Wayzata.
Nice job up front. You wondered if opening up a huge hole. Look at the size of the hole. Let's see if we can find that hold. Yeah, you're going to see, I think that's number 67, Blake Bergman, that they're going to get for holding. But, even though you don't get that long run, that touchdown, you got to like what they're doing up front. And I like, too, that they're adding that second blocker in the backfield. That's something new that we haven't seen this year. Just kind of allows your running back to kind of follow right behind, pick his hole, and getting an extra blocker, an extra man in there.
So 3rd and 12 coming up here for the Trojans after what had apparently been a long touchdown, but a hold. And hard to say for sure, but I thought on that replay it looked like a pretty legitimate call, as he kind of hooked the defensive tackle and rode him to the ground a little bit. Harvey, play action, going to throw deep, and Alfaro-Diedrich had a step, but it looked like he stopped. I don't think they were on the same page on that route.
Yeah, he had one-on-one coverage there, good speed, and you could see that ball just thrown a little bit early on those longer developing plays. Especially when your receiver gets a step like that, you got to throw a catchable ball. That one just a few yards too deep. Sometimes in a playoff game, you're amped up. You got the adrenaline going. It's easy to overthrow.
Theo Smith on to punt here for Wayzata. Drifting back deep is Tice Howard for Osseo. Pretty good rush coming. He gets it out of there. Howard, he thought about trying to field that one. And it takes a good Wayzata roll down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. So 46-yard punt as you get a look at the Class 6A bracket. And as we said, not a ton of games tonight that you couldn't already pencil a winner in on. I think this one's certainly one of the more intriguing ones, and a few others definitely too.
Yeah, you look at that bracket, I think the winner of this game has, I believe, the easiest number 1 seed to play in Stillwater. So there's a chance whoever wins this game very well could make it down to the semifinals. Both teams, I think, got a pretty good draw.
Cade Fitzgerald leading the Osseo offense. Again, came over from Champlain Park, been the starter all season long. Handoff up the middle and nothing doing there as driven back. A little bit on the carry there for the Orioles was Kamara.
Yeah, what I want to see out of Osseo is just no negative plays. We did their first game against Maple Grove, first game of the year, and they got down so quick that it was almost over within the first few possessions. Tonight, they got a chance. They got to run the football, take care of the football, but get positive yards. Even a play like that, not a huge gain, but you get three yards on first down. You'll take that.
Yeah, they drove him back. He got a little bit more than what I really expected, about 2.5, 3 yards on that one. Hand off one more time right side, and Wayzata getting all over, gang tackling Kamara there.
Well, I think, too, Wayzata's going to sell out on stopping the run, and they're going to try to make this a throwing game, try to put Cade Fitzgerald in passing situations. What I'd like to see from Osseo, Jay, is use pass on the first down, second down, when they're not expecting it. Wayzata in the 3rd and long, they're going to be more prepared for passing yards. I think Cade Fitzgerald, very, very talented thrower. They got to utilize it early in downs.
Good runner, too, and that's something to watch for. He's had some times where he's got some escapability and capable of doing things with his feet, too. And here he is going to try and run a sweep. Cuts it back into the middle, though, and that was into the heart of the traffic, so it'll be a short loss, if anything, I think, on this play, and it'll be a punting situation for Osseo. Wayzata gets what they wanted out of this.
Yeah, watch number 8, Tommy Hammond. You see him right there. He didn't make that tackle, but he did not allow Fitzgerald to get outside. He set that edge. He forced him to cut back, knowing where his help was coming down the line. It's one of those plays you don't get a credit in the stat sheet, but that's exactly what you're coached to do. Don't let that ball bounce outside.
Tommy Hammond, one of those guys who was injured that they're glad to have back here for a couple weeks. Now TJ Clay punting. Low snap, and he gets it out of there. A low kick. Alfaro Diedrich fields it, breaks a tackle, breaks another. And they stay with him and drag him down as Ahmad Bundu able to get him, but it's still great field position here for the Trojans as they'll have it at the 39 of Osseo. I mean, yes, you would have liked to have had that touchdown that was called back by penalty, but in terms of field position game, they got exactly what they wanted.
Well, and you and I have done enough games. How many times have we seen punts that go 5 yards or 10 yards? Like that Wayzata punt that they had, rolling all the way down to within the 20 like that. Punting is such a big aspect. And I know in the media and as fans, you hear coaches talk about special teams, you kind of eye roll, right? But it matters, especially in high school football and field position.
So Harvey coming back out with this Trojans offense. Penalties at times have been an issue for them, and obviously that they lost a potential touchdown and had a couple of penalties already on that first drive, trying to avoid that going forward. Alfaro Diedrich up the middle, got through one tackler, and then is met and driven back. He advanced it to about the 34.
Another flag on the play.
And it's going to be against Wayzata again, it appears here. They have not had a good start in that regard.
Well, and the thing it does, too, is negates another good first down play with good yardage.
Illegal formation again for the second time, as there's a look at Lambert Brown, the Trojans head coach.
And I think what's happening is they're not getting enough guys on the line of scrimmage. I think they're having an extra receiver maybe that needs to scoot up. They gotta have 6 guys on that line of scrimmage.
Alfaro Dietrich takes the handoff and gets to the edge down the sideline before he's shoved out. Look around, and at this point, don't see any flags this time, which is good news for the Trojans.
That's the first thing I did, too, is look and see. And nice job by Alfonso Dietrich that time. I think the play design up the middle, recognizing nothing there, bounces it outside, showing off he's got great speed. It's a nice 1-2 combination with him and Dante Cockrell Jr. Great speed and great power.
Here's a slant, and Berkland breaks a tackle, and he is in for the touchdown. Wayzata striking quick. The penalties don't dissuade them, and they are on the board here midway through this first quarter.
Great play call, and I'll tell you that's successful because they have been able to run the football, a little play action. You get the linebackers, just take a step or two up, and Berkland right down the seam on a slant, perfectly thrown ball. One thing I love that Drew Berkland does is he doesn't catch it and slow down. He almost speeds up when he gets it. That's not easy going across the middle like that, either knowing you might take a hit.
Andy Vrudny comes in and drills the extra point, and Berkland helped his team to a state championship in basketball last year. He's a good football player, but baseball might be his best sport. He's going to the U of M for baseball, and it's kind of a throwback three-sport guy, especially in a very large high school that plays at very high-level programs.
Yeah, you love to see that. And I'll tell you what, Tice Howard, number 20, he's the safety there. You got to make a receiver feel you when you come across the middle like that. He almost just stopped without any contact. And, if you can't make a play on the ball, you got to make that tackle and be physical. And Berkland is so aggressive, catches it, and he's gone.
So Trojans misfiring a little bit with the penalties, but other than that, have looked good, and they're able to get on the board. This time the touchdown counts. They had an earlier one wiped out by a holding call and ended up having to punt. Andy Vrudny kicking off here for the Trojans. He's going to drill it toward the corner, and it'll get out of bounds. Unfortunately so for Osseo, because that one was going to be a tough one to return. It was what he wanted to do, I think, but obviously you're hoping it doesn't take that sideways bounce and go out.
I think that was Devin Green back there. That was really heads-up play. It looked like he was going to pick it up, and you don't know where it's going to bounce. He let it go and got a good bounce. They're going to get good field position out of that.
Put it at the 35-yard line here as you get a look at the starting offense for Osseo there on the left and the defense for the Trojans. They had a quick 3-and-out the first time, so trying to get something established here against this good Wayzata defense. And now we get a flag against Osseo.
I wonder if not everyone got set. They're kind of going with a quick count, which I like. They're getting right up to the line of scrimmage. No.
The false start against the Orioles. And you see Ryan Stockhouse not too happy about it. I don't think he's mad at the call. He's mad at the players. I think he's letting them know, too, that obviously it's a little bit on the quarterback. And, your snap count has to coincide with knowing that everybody's set. 1st and 15. They'll go to Zachiel here, and he is met and wrapped up nicely by Drew Streeter for the Trojans. Got a little bit, but not much. Couple on that play.
And Drew Streeter, great tackler, leading tackler for Wayzata.
See, Wayzata leads the all-time series 12-5. They first met in 1952, and then last time haven't played in 10 years, and Wayzata won that. That was a playoff game in November of 2011. So although the schools are fairly close, they haven't been playing real regularly.
And did CCX cover that first game back in the 50s?
I'm going to bet no. And I got to believe, and in fact, I know how different these schools were back then. I mean, both Osseo and Wayzata were pretty small towns.
Yeah, and I think, talking about Osseo and their offense, second and long like that, that's where I would take a shot. That's where I would, screen, a draw, a quick pass, something down the field. Now it's a 3rd and long. Now, as a defense, you're kind of prepared for a pass.
Fitzgerald throwing it down the sideline.
Oh, they're going to get a flag.
Will they throw it? Yes. As Alex Hart was just trying to ward him off. He actually was in really good position, but he just got a little too physical, riding him out of bounds.
Yeah, no need for it. He was there. That ball I don't think would have been caught either. That's where as a defensive back, you got to be in great position. But you got to play without your hands and get your head around, see that ball in the air.
And give Osseo a first down.
Yeah, only one receiver down. You can see he's right there, but just unnecessary push. And anytime you see a defensive back put the hands in the air right away, it's because you know they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
Went for Devin Green there.
Yeah, if I'm Osseo too, I come right back with a play down the field. I think that's how you can soften up the Trojan run defense as well.
Up the middle with this one, and it'll be good for about 3 right to midfield for Kamara.
And I think a big drive too for the Orioles, Jay. Down 7-0. First drive, it didn't get much going. You're on the road. You want to try to build some confidence and momentum here. Got to sustain drives.
Another handoff. Ooh, then a physical takedown by Bo Alber there for Wayzata.
Yeah, Tim Hess too in on that. Physical up front. You can see the push too. And nothing too fancy, but I'll tell you what, I would not want to block Bo Alber. It has him listed at 240. He looks all of that. Very solid.
So it'll be a 3rd and 7 for Osseo as we go under 5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Wayzata leading it by a score of 7-0 on a Ryan Harvey to Drew Birkland touchdown pass. Timeout taken here by Osseo. I think they kind of already can feel this is, a fairly important play here at 3rd down that they really would like to convert.
Yeah, and it's just on the road too. It's so important to get off to a good start. Obviously for the score, but more importantly, just for your confidence, your momentum for your team, and you want to show your guys, hey, we can do this. We can win this game. Let's get this first down. At least get 5-6 yards. Maybe set up a 4th and short where you could still go for it.
Osseo up to the line here with this 3rd and long. Play comes in motion. Fitzgerald rolling left, fires, and it is incomplete. Pretty tight defense there, tight coverage as he tried to go to Green.
Yeah, good coverage, and that would have been well short, too. That was only about 2 or 3 yards down the field. A lot of traffic, and again, it's such a tough throw as your quarterback. It was right-handed, rolling him out to the left. Put a good throw on it, just a little bit high. Yeah, that's where I think I try to get a few yards and maybe set up a chance where we could go for it here on 4th down.
Clay on the punt, trying to drive this one away, but taken by Birkland. And Birkland will get upfield to about the 33-yard line. Pretty decent coverage there, but Wayzata will get the football back with a little over 4.5 to go in this opening quarter. And again, outside the penalties, their offense has been good, but they have definitely shot themselves in the foot a little bit.
I think Coach Lambert Brown is probably telling his guys, listen, they haven't stopped us. We've stopped ourselves. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's execute. Let's play clean brand of football here, and let's go down. Let's, dominate, demonstrate our will here, and take control of this game on this drive.
Alfaro Diedrich takes the handoff on the stretch play, now getting a block as he cuts it back. breaks through a tackle and then is stood up near the 45. Jeez. They keep pushing that pile forward, and I don't think they'd ever blown it dead till he's all the way down to the 50 and gain of 18.
What an effort, too. Not a big guy, 5'9", 180, but he fights. And look at these legs. Great speed to the outside, good vision, cut back. Right about here, I mean, you see 4, 5, 6 Wayzata. Look at those legs, still charming. And then you get the lineman in to give you that extra little boost. He got an extra 4 or 5 yards after contact there. Great effort.
So at midfield, Trojans, fresh set of downs here. Cockrell takes the handoff this time, and he has a gap to run through, and will pick up 6 or 7. And you can see they're really establishing and driving Osseo off the ball. I mean, he's not taking contact till 5, 6 yards downfield.
Yeah, great push. I always look at the linemen and which direction are they going. You know, if you get that defensive push, you'll see linemen a yard back into the backfield. What you're seeing now is blue jerseys 2 or 3 yards down the field holding their blocks. The other thing, running this successful for Wayzata, it sets up that play action.
And guess what? Another penalty. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Timeout taken by Osseo. They'll use another one here in this first quarter.
Yeah, smart timeout, too. I think Coach Stockhouse may be seeing something that he didn't like. And how do you stop a good running game, especially with a big physical offensive line? You can stunt. You can move your linemen, just moving technique, bringing linebackers up, bringing blitzes. I mean, you got to figure out a way to stop that push. So if you can't stop the run at any football level, you're in for a long night.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, I mean, being honest, it doesn't do much good to just say, hey, you need to be able to shed that block quicker. Because if it's not happening, you got to realize that and, like you said, make some adjustments too. And
the hardest part about playing Wayzata is if you can't stop the run, you have to bring safeties and your outside backers in, and that allows, you know, Eli Lenort and Drew Berkland on the outside one-on-one, and they're just a nightmare to have to guard one-on-one. You want to keep a safety high if you can, just to help.
They've got their tight end back from injury too, Jack Kinsey, 6'6" and 240.
God, that's a nice target. Nice safety valve.
Second and 3, Harvey fakes the handoff, now looking deep downfield, got a man, and that's going to be another touchdown for Berkland. No, a flag down on the play. Let's see what this one's going to be. An eligible man downfield against the Trojans, another penalty. And that's a second touchdown that's been taken off the board.
The first one was the 49-yard touchdown by Cockrell Jr. This one about a 40 or 43, 44-yard coming back.
So instead of a touchdown, they'll be pushed back 5 and a 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Trojans. See if we can get a look.
Oh. Yeah, you see a guy down the field. Look like Manny Wilson.
I wonder if that's kind of a run pass option, and he was expecting that to be a running play.
Yeah.
Little toss, and here's Berkland. Berkland breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and he might go. Just tripped up inside the 5. And again, after every good play, now we got to look around for penalties. It doesn't look like we have one this time.
I'll tell you what, taking shots down the field. This time they throw short with a wide receiver screen. Look at all those blue jerseys out in front. Great vision, good speed, and great effort here at the very end just to pull him down. Shandon Anderson, great hustle. If you're Drew Berkland, don't you say, Coach, you got to give me the touchdown now. I've scored one, almost had one taken back. I deserve this one.
From the 5, 1st and goal, gonna throw it and juggled, and they tried to Give it there back to Birkeland. This time maybe a touch behind him, but couldn't quite reel it in.
That's exactly what they did. Look at the play action. Look at the space in the field right there in the middle of the field. And I think that's when Drew Birkeland catches 9 out of 10 times. I think you said a tad behind him, but got his hands on it. And I think, great players, you could score 4 touchdowns. You know what you remember that night is the one you dropped.
So 2nd and goal here from the 5. See if Wayzata might just say, you know what, I think we could just hammer it at him here too, and we'll see if that's what they do. Cockrell takes the handoff, and he'll be stacked up at about the 2.
Nice job by the Orioles that time. Big guys up front doing a great job holding. Najee Brown-Gray, big number 53, got some good push. Cockrell Jr., he's 235 pounds, so he's a big physical back. They did a great job of standing him up and then not letting him drive the pile forward.
He's a big back, but I gotta be honest, I'm looking at him and I don't see 235 really, does he? That's what he's listed at, though. You're right. So a 3rd down and goal. Back to Cockrell, and he will go in for the touchdown. There's another flag, though.
We got to have another stat tonight for touchdown scored but don't count because of the flag.
Illegal formation again against Wayzata. Wow.
That's big. I mean, obviously you negate the touchdown, but you also kind of move them out of that short yardage where the run was really a possibility here.
And this is something that Wayzata, I mean, I'm guessing they're kind of shocked that this is, you almost have to think, is this a crew that is calling things a little bit different than what they're used to? Because otherwise you can't imagine that this would have happened this many times.
I didn't see their game last week, so I don't know if they're, earlier in the year they did not have 2 backs in the backfield, so I don't know if it's a new formation and guys just aren't used to it.
Go play action. That slant again for Birkeland. Well defended.
Wow.
As Bundu is there to break that one up for the Orioles. And we'll see if Wayzata will be thinking field goal here or if they're going to go for it.
Again, play action. Wide open in the field. Perfect throw. I think that was just really good coverage by Bundu getting his hand in there. They got the look they wanted. They got Birkeland, who had a half a step. Accurate throw. Just really good coverage.
Rodney will try a 25-yard field goal here for Wayzata. Again, no wind tonight to worry about for the kickers, and Rodney knocks it through. And so with 1:30 to go in the first quarter, again they lose a potential touchdown to a penalty, but they do end up with 3 as Rodney knocks in the 25-yard field goal. So 10-0 Trojans our score.
I go back to Shandon Anderson, number 54, that great hustle down the field, making that tackle. Might not seem like a big deal at that time, but he saved, 6 points and end up forcing a field goal rather than a touchdown. And that's 3 touchdowns on the night that have been called back due to penalty flags. So I think if you're Osseo, you feel great. Hey, we got this stop. We didn't give up 6 there. And if you're Wayzata, guys, we're beating ourselves. They're not doing anything to stop us. How many of that illegal formation penalties? Is that 3 or 4?
I think it's 3 or 4, yeah.
We had a hold come back. Just got to clean those little things up. You might be able to get away with it tonight, Jay, but as you progress in the playoffs against really good teams, you can't shoot yourself in the foot like that.
Taken at about the 6-yard line by Clay, and he'll be back to the 20. I'm sorry, on the return there was Howard for the Orioles, and so they'll have the football right at the 20, and they need to get something going. Haven't had much offensively here in this first quarter.
And I think you got to take chances. You got some great athletes. You got a very capable quarterback with a good arm. Got to take some chances down the field here.
Mara takes the handoff, and that time they opened up a bit of a gap. Brought down for the Trojans there by Chase Ullum.
Nice push there on the right side of that line of scrimmage. Big number 77, Jerome Williams, 6'5", 285, got a great push. And God, getting those big gains on first down, so big for this Oriole offense because it just opens everything up when you got second and third and short.
Fitzgerald with the keeper there. I'm not sure if that was really by design or not. He'll get nothing doing. Let's see if it'll be a short loss here, I think. Bringing up a 3rd down and 4. They don't have to snap it again before the quarter break here. We'll see if they do, as we're under 15 seconds to play now in the first.
This might be one of those, too, where you get up to the line, try to draw the defense offside with a hard count, see if you can't pick up a quick 5.
And instead, it is Osseo jumping on the left side there. Benson got an early start. Wow. I was going to say it's your kind of game if you like penalties, but I don't know that very many people, football fans, are in for that.
Well, somewhere there's a retired ref watching. He's like, this is great.
First quarter does come to an end here. Our score after 1 is Wayzata 10 and Osseo nothing. Second quarter of football up next here on CCX. Cowboy theme here in the crowd at Wayzata is right before Halloween. Their Trojans leading Osseo by a score of 10-0. Kind of a first quarter of fits and starts here. Wayzata in a lot of ways is dominated, but penalties have been just their downfall so far here, although still leading it by a score of 10-0.
Yeah, I think it's just something where if you're Wayzata, I think you feel like you're in complete control of the game, right? You've kind of done and gotten whatever you want. And Osseo just struggling to get first down, struggling to move the football. So not only is this big too, but you know, if Osseo gets stopped here, it's another short punt with a short field. You know what I mean? You gotta sustain drives not only to score, but also change field position and to give your defense a rest as well.
Fitzgerald throwing out that left side and nearly picked off. It's again that same matchup. Alex Hart defending against Devin Green. He had an earlier PI. That time well defended and nearly picked it off.
Yeah, pretty good throw too. A nice throw. Put it up high to the outside, and one of those that could have been caught there, but just a nice job of Hart getting his hands in there. That time he got his head around and made a play on the ball without the contact.
And Wayzata does not mess around in terms of punt returning. They've got two of their most dangerous guys back there, Julian Alfaro Diedrich and Drew Birkland.
Yeah, both at midfield, so you know it's going to be pretty good field position here.
Diedrich spinning away as he makes that catch. Now cutting it back, and he'll be tripped up just into Osseo territory at about the 48. So again, very good field position for the Trojans as they get to possession here, leading it 10-0 early in the second.
Yeah, nice tackle by John Lundstrom that time. Alfaro Diedrich is not easy to bring down. He's got such good footwork, but great tackle.
I think for Wayzata, execution once the play starts has been mostly pretty good. It's
get lined
can
up
we get lined up? and don't hold. Those two things have been an issue. Dietrich coming in motion, takes a handoff here.
Nice D.
And wrapped up at the 45 after a pickup of 3.
Really nice D that time. Shandon Anderson, number 54. And you'll see Kamara as well. Great job just, again, setting that edge. That's not easy to defend, especially when you got that jet sweep motion and you get speed like Alfaro Dietrich going before the ball's even snapped. That's not easy to defend.
2nd and 7 now for Harvey and the Trojans. Harvey will sling it out. Alfaro Dietrich with the catch, and he'll have a first down. So he's thrown down at about the 35-yard line here. Pickup of 10, and easily enough for the first down.
And the Trojans in a nice rhythm offensively. They just ran the jet sweep. That time they faked the run up the middle, and then you get Alfaro Dietrich in the flat, easy throw and catch. Nice action, easy first down.
Something you see a lot more in football now than you used to. A long time ago you'd think, well, why would you throw it to somebody you just faked to? But honestly, it freezes the defense in a lot of cases.
Well, as a defender, you think, oh, he doesn't have it. That was a decoy. Yep. You kind of forget about him.
Play action again, throwing deep downfield, looking for Lenord, but pretty well covered again, and that one would have been a tough one to sneak in there. It, again, does keep the defense honest, though, when the threat is there to go vertical on them.
Yeah, and that's the second time tonight that Ryan Harvey, I think, has gotten rid of the ball just a tad early. You got to let that play develop a little bit, get your receiver a chance to get down the field. And he's not under pressure either, so it's not like he has to get rid of it there.
So a 2nd down and 10 here for the Trojans. Alfaro Dietrich had to break a tackle early and then wrapped up and brought down there. The Orioles combination of Hamza and got some help as well.
Yeah, Najee Brown-Gray doing a nice job. Good push. And it takes a group tackling, too, especially when you have elusive running backs you're going against. Can't assume that first guy is going to get him. You got to have those enforcements. Great team tackling there by the Orioles.
3rd down and 8 after the incompletion, then a short pickup.
Ooh, I think Wayzata got lucky there. I think Eli Lenord jumped. You could see the Osseo coaches trying to call for it, but referees did not see it.
Slings it out to Birkland. Spins out of a tackle. And flag down on the play. Imagine that.
Well, good recognition. The Trojans, I think, sensing that there was quite a bit of cushion on Birkland. He just made the catch, did a great job of making that guy miss.
Flag came in the secondary, so this is not one of those, pre-snap kind of penalties.
You saw Wayzata guy coming over to block, so I don't wonder if it was something in that or if they got a face mask possibly.
It's going to be a hold. Wow. Right here, Birkland makes a guy miss, and then a little jersey grab. I think that again is the sophomore being penalized, Manny Wilson. He's got a lineman number, but he's actually been lining up as a tight end.
Yeah, and that's one of those, as a coach, you love the effort of the young kid coming out trying to make an extra play, but it wasn't necessary. It didn't really impact the play. And instead of having 4th and real short, now you're 3rd and long again.
Third and 13 coming here for Wayzata. Again, a double tight end alignment. Harvey going to go screen left. Alfaro Dietrich. One guy has a shot, and nice hands to hang on there by Anderson, but it's a nice gainer for Wayzata. Not going to be quite enough for the first down, but it'll definitely leave them with 4th and short.
Yeah, great call again. That time you sent Berkland in motion across the field. You're looking right, and you come back to the screen to the left to Alfaro Dietrich. Great play design.
This one, I think, is probably a touchdown if Anderson doesn't get him.
Yeah, that's just a great individual effort. We've seen Anderson make a couple of those touchdown-saving tackles here tonight.
4th and 2. See if Wayzata thinks they can just overpower him and run it right at him here. Hand off to Cockrell, and that's exactly what they'll do, and that is enough for the first down with ease.
Yeah, I think that's just Wayzata saying, I think we're bigger and stronger than you guys, and let's find out. They run right to the left. Look at the push. You know, not to mention, I mean, Cockrell Jr., again, contact almost at the line of scrimmage, but watch him push the pile back. That's where you don't need anything fancy. You don't need to make guys miss. Just go get us that first down.
I think that's one of those where you run into and you say, if that's junior, I'd hate to run into senior, huh? At the 22 now, first down for the Trojans. Back to Cockrell again. And he'll spill forward to about the 16 or 17 yard line there. Another nice gainer for the Trojans.
Jerome Williams for Osseo had great penetration up the field. He just overran Cockrell Jr. that time. And that's hard. As a defensive lineman, you get free and you're in the backfield, you're kind of excited. You got to be able to break down at about 1 yard deep and find that ball carrier.
Didn't get quite as much as I first thought. So 2nd and 5 here for the Trojans. Harvey throwing. Here's Berkland making a move in traffic. Berkland just does not want to go down easily as he'll be down around the 10-yard line. And it'll be first down and goal here for the Trojans.
And again, easy throw and catch. They're recognizing there's about a 10-yard cushion that the defensive back is playing off of Berkland. Quick throw, and then you see the right side, the offensive lineman going downfield, blocking. Pretty well defended, but just good fight that time by Berkland.
So at the 9 now, first down for the Trojans. Trying to stretch what's now a 10-point lead. Harvey will hand it off to Cockrell, and he is going to get in for the touchdown. And look around, don't seem to see any flags, and looks like this one will count. And Wayzata on the board for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. Again, just power football, Jay, right up the middle. That O-line doing a heck of a job at that 1-2 punch of Cockrell Jr. and Alfaro Dietrich. You got that speed and that power. So far, it's been working.
Brudney on to attempt the extra point, and his kick is up and through. So with the 7:03 to go here in the second quarter, it is 17-0 in favor of Wayzata.
Yeah, nice double team up the middle. That's just simple power football. Great push. You know, and this is when Wayzata gets to be so difficult to stop, when they can run the football like that. You know, against Maple Grove, they struggled running it, and you could see it put them in, you know, 2nd, 3rd, and long that were passing, you know, passing downs and distances, and Maple Grove was ready for that. So if you're going to play Wayzata, you've got to be able to stop that run without sacrificing your secondary at the same time.
I like the way, too, they've gotten the ball on some short, relatively safe throws to their playmakers. Berkland obviously being one, and Alfaro Dietrich at times as well.
Well, not only do you get the ball in the hands of guys that can make great plays, but you get your quarterback into a rhythm, too. He's completing easy passes. All of a sudden, a throw down the field doesn't seem that hard.
Drills it on the ground. Nice hands by Green to field it at the 9. Trying to work his way all the way across field here. And a pretty good return as he's out over the 30, or right at the 30. Looks like they'll mark him. And Osseo, time to get something going for them. They just have not had much in the way of offense here in this first quarter and a half.
And you see in a tight formation. So what's happening? You're getting about 20 guys within about an 8-yard space, Jay. There's just no room to run, and Wayzata's big and physical up front. So you're going to have to spread them out, I think, and at least try something down the field to soften up that front seven.
Fitzgerald will hand off on the counter. Oh my goodness. That one goes nowhere as tried to cross him up a little bit, Lundstrom, but he was wrapped up by Richlick.
Yeah, watch Richlick did a great job. He's taken on a big block there by Amos Sua. Not only does he get off the block, but then he has the wherewithal to go make the play for a loss of 3 or 4. That's exactly how you're coached as an outside linebacker.
I think the Trojans have to like, too, the fact that they saw something a little different there, but it didn't phase them. They stuck with they trusted their eyes on that one.
And I like the play call, a little bit different, trying to get the ball to the outside. It was a great play.
And
be a false start.
Yeah, legal motion or false start there. Both coaches used the word, we want to play clean football tonight, and that they've failed in that mission, or either that or we're maybe seeing a flag happy crew, maybe a combination of both. I don't think I've seen a game this year, or maybe in several years, with this many first half penalties like this. But at the same time, it's the playoffs. You don't say, well, maybe they don't know any better. I mean, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
Yep. You got to think for Osseo, where do you go right now? What do you do to get sparked? And not even to score a touchdown, but just second and really long. Where do you go to get that first down?
Here's Clay taking the handoff. Ooh. Oh. Physical stop by Fox Knutson, another guy who they're happy to have back from an injury. And he had an interception return for a touchdown last week against Farmington that helped seal their comeback win after they'd been down 8-7 for a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Farmington's a really good football team, too. So I think that win kind of gave the Trojans confidence. And, having Hammond and Knutson, their outside backers, back. I mean, those are 2 really good linebackers. So I think Wayzata feels really confident and healthy, especially where they're at defensively.
3rd and 16 here for Osseo. Fitzgerald going to run it here. Makes a nice cut, and an earlier and different situation, that would be a nice run, but it's still not going to be anywhere near enough for a first down. It still is a nice run. Don't get me wrong, but obviously nowhere near the first down. He'll get about 10.
But do you agree, Jay? Like if you did that on first down, right, where you maybe get outside, it's a quick play, you got a talented runner, then you try, countering that with some runs up the middle.
You kind of get, though, with the battle back and forth, at this point we are who we are. What we run, how much are we going to change that formation-wise and all of that? And it can be a tough decision to make, I think, for teams. Clay booting because they've generally had pretty good offense. They ran for well over 300 yards against Blaine last week. Now, obviously, this is a little tougher defense, and they're finding that out. And when do you become something different? I guess I think it's a hard call.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's becoming something different as opposed to maybe just changing the order in which you normally would run those plays. I think Wayzata is saying, listen, we're not going to let you run between the tackles. If you beat us going deep or out to the outside or something, we'll live with that. But we're taking away what you do really well, and that's what makes football so fun. It's that chess game between coaches and staffs.
Football at the 34 for Wayzata. They lead it 17-0 here. A little over 4 minutes to go in this first half. Harvey to Cockrell. And he is out to just about the 40-yard line there. Stopped by Emmanuel Ogbaju for Osseo.
Yeah, nice play by the big fella, too, getting off his block. And there was a good lane there for Cockrell Jr., but nice tackle. Still a good pickup there on first down.
Fakes the handoff here, slings it out, complete to Alfaro Diedrich, and he is able to spin away from a tackle and get enough for the first down. He was met pretty hard, but he just kind of gave that little shoulder shimmy and spun out of it.
But he's so quick, he beat his blockers, I think. You know, he started moving before the blockers got in front of him. You see he kind of stops, backtracks, let his blockers get in front of him, and then it does a nice job of not getting a big play, but enough for the first down. Good tackle, too, by Zealy.
At the 45, they go to Cockrell on that right side and powers forward for about 7.
Great sportsmanship there. You see Brown Gray picking him up. Love that when guys are battling and competing, but yet still taking the time to be good sportsmanship.
2nd and 3 coming up now for Wayzata, as they have been tough to stop when they've just run it right at them, and they've mixed in some short, quick throws too. Back to Cockrell here, running off the right side. And he is still going down that sideline.
Jeez.
Wow, that one turned into a much bigger play than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was looking at the ground there after that first kind of scum. See that right there? It looked like he's wrapped up. Just keeps those legs driving. Great effort. Yeah, and I like too, Wayzata's getting Cockrell Jr. and Alfaro Diedrich on the field at the same time, moving Alfaro Diedrich to that slot, that wide receiver where they've used him in motion and more in the passing game. You get both players chances to touch the ball.
From the 18, a little bit of a mix-up there, and Harvey has to keep it as the timing got disrupted. He was looking to hand off, and there's nobody there. But wisely just got as much as he could out of it.
Yeah, not a huge play, but that's a play where a lot of quarterbacks, if you stall for just a second, you allow that penetration, that's a loss of 3 or 4. Harvey heads up enough to at least say, hey, I missed it, but I'm going forward, and picks up 2.
Under 2 minutes to go now in this first half, as Wayzata would love to add another here. They're up 17-zip.
Yeah, watch the play action here to Drew Berkland.
Here's the throw, and well covered that time. Sticking with him was Bundu.
Yeah, great coverage. We've seen him run a lot of that slant, so I thought maybe they're going to go to that. Instead, they went to the kind of the deep fade and couldn't have asked for better coverage.
So bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Trojans. Hand off to Alfaro Diedrich, getting out to the edge. Down the sideline, he keeps his feet, and he will go in for the touchdown. Crossed him up a little bit, I think, with that play, and then he did a good job. I thought he was going to be knocked out, but didn't happen, and he goes in for the score.
Yeah, and it's weird because they're in Osseo in a great position to make the tackles, but they're just not bringing them down, and you're seeing these Wayzata running backs just fighting for extra yards, and Alfaro Diedrich just kept going there on the sideline. Great play again, motion going, everything going left. You bring Alfaro Diedrich coming back to the right. Oh, blocked.
High snap, and the extra point try is blocked. So Osseo gets a block on that one, but you see Julian, not a real big guy, but stronger than what you'd think, and you could kind of see it on that play as he was able to keep things going.
Yeah, great kick out block to a nice little play side pull by Brett Kelsenberg, number 65, able to kick out that linebacker, get that seal. And then right there, I thought, that's just a tackle you got to have. Carl Furman there was in a pretty good spot.
And Bundu, I know you don't want to get a late hit, but not a great effort there coming over late either. Got to at least try to. Yeah, I really felt like that first tackler didn't use the sideline to his advantage very well there either. If you can't tackle
it, of course, if anything, you push him out of bounds there, but didn't wrap up. And again, we've seen a couple plays of Alfaro Diedrich just keeping those legs driving, getting those extra yards. That time finds the end zone.
Rudney's kickoff and taken back at about the 2. Green handing it off. And that one did not fool the Trojans there. Streeter doing a good job of staying with that one and brought Howard down. So 1:29 to go here in the first half, and Wayzata dominating, leading at 23-zip.
First and 10 at their 15-yard line.
And I think we're going to have a timeout used by Osseo. Yes, we are. That'll be their last timeout of the half. Not a whole lot has gone right for the Orioles here in this first half, and they want to get things started on the right note here. Certainly with not great field position and not much time, Osseo, you're going to have to rely on popping something big here if they're going to have a realistic chance of scoring this half. You also have to be thinking about taking care of the ball, though, deep in your own end of the field like this, too. This Wayzata defense pretty opportunistic. As we said, Fox Knutson sealed a win over Farmington last week with a pick 6, so. So here we go from the 15. And off to Zachiel, and not much doing that time for the Orioles. And I think Wayzata's going to use a timeout here, maybe. Yes, they are. They're hoping to get the football back one more time here. Be a loss of a yard on that play. Lambert Brown seeing an opportunity to try and force a punt and get one more score late in this half. His defense has mostly stuffed the Orioles here tonight. Be interesting to see if Osseo does try to keep it on the ground and just force Wayzata to use those timeouts, or if handoff on the counter to Kamara, and he is brought down as Knutson stayed with him. They kind of had the flow going the other way, but Knutson, there you see him flexing as he makes the stop there. And another timeout quickly used by the Trojans. A 1-yard pickup on the play. It had possibilities there, but Knutson coming up with a very nice form tackle there for the Trojans. So they'll get Osseo into the 3rd and long situation here, and still one more timeout remaining, 2 for Wayzata. So even if Osseo says, we're going to go conservative, keep it on the ground, they can stop the clock one more time here. So we'll see what the Orioles will do here on this 3rd and 10. Fitzgerald rolling right, being chased now. He gets to the edge. Fitzgerald will step out of bounds, and looks like he should have enough for the first down, and will, out to about the 28. So a nice run. I was talking with Coach Stockhouse about Fitzgerald's footwork earlier, and he said, yeah, he's had the capability to make some big plays at times, even if he's maybe made a wrong turn or wrong decision. Sometimes it works out, and he showed that speed right there, and he gets a very important first down for Osseo. If nothing else, at least that should allow them to run off the clock here without having to give the ball back to Wayzata. Fitzgerald's going to run it again the other way this time. Ooh, and he is popped by Streeter. Came up and met him. And that time Fitzgerald unable to outrun things there, and he'll lose 2 or 3 on this play, and it paid the price a bit as Streeter comes up to meet him. Wayzata electing not to use the timeout. I think that they know that now that they're not going to be able to force Osseo to punt anyway. Handoff goes to Clay. And
TJ Clay on the right side.
Gets a little bit here, maybe back to the previous line of scrimmage, but that looks like it'll probably do it for the first half as we tick down under 5 seconds to go. And we will reach halftime, and it has been a dominant first half for the Wayzata Trojans as they are all over Osseo, leading it by a score of 23-0 here at halftime. Got a touchdown and a field goal in the first quarter, and then a Cockrell touchdown rush and an Alfaro Dietrich touchdown rush in quarter number 2. And even though they've been plagued by penalties, the Trojans, they've still been pretty unstoppable here in this first half. And meanwhile, their defense has done their usual solid job throwing a shutout at the Orioles. A couple nice runs by Fitzgerald, and had a little here and there for the Orioles, but in general not able to keep anything going offensively. And they have not completed a pass in this first half either. They are 0 for 2, so no doubt about it, Osseo has its work cut out trying to get back into this one in the second. And looks like Ryan's ready down on the field with another Ryan Stockhouse.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking a minute here. What did you think there of the first half?
It's been a rough first half. We lost the captain to a broken collarbone to start the game. That's our 3rd captain out so far. So injuries have hit us hard. Scrambling to get a few guys going out there, and it shows a little bit. They're a tough physical team, you know what I mean? So they've been able to establish runs and pick up some first downs, and we really haven't been able to do what we want to do offensively, and it shows.
I always think of seniors in the playoffs, right? Maybe a lot of them the last time they're ever going to play football. What do you say to them now at halftime, down 23? What do you tell them to make this a great experience here the rest of the game?
Well, it's about pride. It's about handling adversity, right? Being a winner is how you go about your business when you're winning and when you're losing, you know what I mean? So, you know, you're 23-0 right now. You come out here and you fight your tail off. They've done a really good job to establish a culture here at Osseo this year, and they're going to finish the job tonight.
So I love your energy, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan and Coach Stockhouse, and that answers why we weren't seeing Owen Dukowitz handling the ball. There is an early injury to him. 23-0 Wayzata, our score at halftime. We'll have first half highlights and more for you here on CCX. Halloween week football for you here on CCX Sports. It is Wayzata leading Osseo 23-0 after a dominant first half here in the first round of the Class 6A playoffs. And a beautiful night. Happy Halloween to everyone watching here this evening. Let's take a look at some first half highlights here. And Wayzata getting started with that slant to Birkeland right between defenders and in for the score. That was after they'd already had a touchdown wiped out by penalty. And then coming back with second quarter as Cockrell gets in for the touchdown after they'd added a field goal as well. And it kind of feels like they can get some yardage whenever they want on that run game too. And then they're mixing in the pass nicely as well. As here's Diedrich taking it on the handoff out to the edge, breaks a tackle, and they just couldn't get him either down or out of bounds here. Good strength, and he runs it on in.
You got to feel pretty confident if you're Wayzata right now offensively what you're doing. And it could be probably worse if you take some of those 7 penalties away. I mean, what do we have, 3 touchdowns already called back due to penalty?
See a domination on the yardage total there for the Trojans. And yeah, the only real negative has been the penalties. That part they want to get cleaned up. But very, very dominant first half for Wayzata. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here from Wayzata High School as playoff time is here in prep football.
Oh, look at that.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Welcome back. Let's go to Ryan now with Coach Brown.
Well, Coach, before we get into football, did you request this song at halftime, Sweet Caroline?
You know, it's always nice to come on the third quarter to this song with a lead, so we're happy people right now.
What'd you think of the first half?
You know, I think we played very well defensively. I thought we moved the ball well offensively. We did have some penalties we haven't had that hurt us. We got a couple touchdowns taken back, but I thought our kids responded really well. And they know that, you know, I appreciate our kids' ownership. You know, there's no pointing fingers like, hey, you know, that one's on me or this one's on me, and hey, I'm going to fix it. And so, you know, I think they've responded really well.
It's always tricky with young kids, you know, high school kids. You're up 23 at half. How do you keep them focused, make sure they finish this game off strong?
Well, we've talked about the fact that this is our last guaranteed game at home, and how do we want to leave this? How do we want to leave this season, and how do we want to leave our last home game and the legacy that we want to leave? And so I think our kids are pretty locked in to finish this game, and we're about to find out.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Brown. And Ryan, have a safe trip back up here through the gauntlet of the Halloween celebrating students here. Now they're having a lot of fun here. 23-0 Trojans, and interesting to hear Coach Brown talk about how his kids, obviously nobody loved seeing those penalties in the first half, but he felt like his team kind of took it in stride, and obviously they bounced back well and have really controlled this game, maybe more than what I would have expected. Not that, you know, obviously you'd say Wayzata is the favorite coming in, I think, but Osseo, a couple of their best players now out with injuries too, as we heard, lost another captain, but still, it was a dominant showing for the guys in blue and gold. And I think the big thing for both teams here is that you have to kind of wipe the slate clean, getting ready for half number 2. Though for Osseo, you can't hang your head. You still got time to get back into this one if you can execute. And for Wayzata, you can't be already thinking about what's going to happen on Halloween or who your next opponent's going to be, anything like that. You've got to keep your foot on the gas here and try and close this one out. And hopefully for their sake, they want to celebrate a win. But for Osseo, right now, they just got to establish something, get something going here early in the second half to show that they're still in this one. Take a quick time out here as we get set for quarter 3. They've put the extra 3 back on the clock as the teams warm up here on a great night for football here at Wayzata High School.
world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
And welcome back. Ryan Harvey and the Wayzata Trojans leading at 23-0 as we get set for half number 2 to begin. And they're having a little bit of fun there on that sideline. And
why wouldn't they be?
Exactly. Yeah. Although, you know, as I was saying, as you're coming back up, Ryan, by the way, good speed on the return.
Well, Neil Diamond makes me go pretty fast.
I was saying that, you know, you can't start celebrating just yet if you're Wayzata either, though. You got to be thinking about taking care of business and even to the extent of, if you have this game wrapped up, of keeping good habits and keeping sharp into the next week.
Well, it's tough, too, because if you do get a big enough lead, at what point as a coach do you want to get those starts, especially when you've been dealing with injuries, too? So it's a delicate balance of, I don't want to take my foot off the gas, but this game might be wrapped up. So this is a big drive right here. I think if Osseo can sustain a drive and maybe get a touchdown here, then we got a ball game, the second half.
Brudney driving this one. Green will field it at about the 3. And able to try to get to the edge there, but then he stopped and Hart wraps him up. He actually had kind of gotten around Hart, but then he saw more pursuit coming and he put the brakes on. And generally on a kickoff return, you're not going to be able to keep going if you have to come to a complete stop like that.
When he had, good speed to get to the outside. You just got to take a positive gain there. Instead you stop, you're going to get hit. But not good field position. That was a great kick, too.
Yeah, and it was similar to the one that went out of bounds earlier, but that time Green was like, I don't think I can take a chance that it's not going to go out, or that it will go out for sure.
Big drive here up front for Osseo. Let's see if they can get some positive yards, some good runs. Move the chains. Only 2 first downs in that first half.
Fakes the handoff to Clay. Fitzgerald keeping it. Fitzgerald getting around the edge. And a little stiff arm as well. He was brought down by Zach Boutwell, but he kind of got the best of that collision with Boutwell. And Fitzgerald running the ball has really been probably their best offense so far.
Great play fake, great call, too. Nice cut. Look at that cut to the outside and good speed. You're right. He's been their best runner, and he's got great speed. If they can free him up like that, get him to the outside. I love that call, the quarterback keep on first down. We saw a lot of just runs up the middle on first down. That time they changed it up and it paid off.
And what you asked for in the first half was not so many really tight formations, and we're seeing that to start this second. That was a very minimal pickup that time for Clay. Maybe one.
It's just tough when you bunch the formation. You got that many bodies that tight together against a good team, right? It's just there's not a lot of room to get through. I like the idea of spreading them out a little bit. See if you can spread the defense out as well, and maybe find some seams. They got talent. We didn't talk about Owen Dukowitz, Jay, but he got hurt early in the game here, not playing. He's normally be their running back, but they still got talent in the backfield.
Fitzgerald running it left. Now ducks his head and just falls forward for a couple. So bring up a 3rd down and long here for the Orioles. Yeah, maybe about a yard is all he's going to get out of that one.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd cut it up for a few more extra there, but he kind of stopped and was just jerking. I think against a good defense, you just got to go north and south. Lower your shoulder and try to get good yards, maybe pick up an extra couple yards.
Pretty good contain on the edge, because I think originally wanted to swing that one wide and then realized he wasn't going to be able to beat him to the corner. So a 3rd and 7 now for Osseo. Again, didn't complete a pass in that first half. Fitzgerald will run it. And he's going to be stopped a little bit short of the first, about a yard it would appear.
This will be interesting here what Coach does here on 4th and short. Again, a great play. I love that there's no hesitation whatsoever, just keeping it and going here. They're keeping that offense on the field. I love the call. Love the message it sends your team. Like, I'm believing in you guys. Let's go.
Oh, no. Man, they get a false start. I was thinking maybe they're going to try and draw Wayzata offside, but instead they do it to themselves, and that's kind of a good indication of how the night's gone for Osseo right there.
Yep.
Now they're going to have to punt. So Clay will punt. Birkeland and Alfaro Diedrich waiting back for Wayzata. And that one, I'm not so sure they didn't get a piece of that. Anyway, it's a low kick that'll squib dead at about the 43. At a 24-yard punt. And Wayzata will get its first possession. Let's see how close anybody came to. And, oh, yeah, it did. I think it did skip off him, yes.
Nice job getting those hands up right at the end. Didn't end up being a terrible punt even with the tip there, but definitely got a piece of it. But good, again, good field position for Wayzata. Exactly what you want coming out of halftime with a nice lead. Get that stop. See if their offense can get clicking as well.
Cockrell up the middle, and he'll be out over the 50 and into Osseo territory. Pickup of about 8. And they've continued to run. Cockrell unofficially 9 rushes, 86 yards in that first half, and Alfaro Diedrich 58 on 5 carries, so they've been efficient too. I mean, their average is excellent.
And that's with a 49-yard touchdown run getting called back because of a hold. But I like what Wayzata's doing. They're switching their offense up just enough with motions. And it's really worked.
Birkeland here. Birkeland making a move. Now another cut. And he'll just lower the shoulder and get as much as he can down to the 43. Pickup of 6 and a first down.
Yeah, you can tell Wayzata's taken what Osseo's defense is giving them. Again, you're going to see about 10 yards of space there. So it's just big cushion. It's easy throw, easy catch. And this guy more than likely is going to always finish positive, getting you good yards. And, of course, enough for a first down there. And it's enough throwing where you just keep that defense honest. And it's all predicated on being able to run the football.
Play action here. Harvey will swing it out and too high as he looked for the north there. Wanted to go, his first route was deep and then check down, didn't hit it.
It's a nice route combination. They want to, one guy's coming short and the other guy's kind of looking like he's going to block and then releases down the field. They're trying to get Osseo to come up on that short throw. Nice job staying deep. And it's kind of like in basketball, if you're shooting from the side, you don't know if you're going to bank it or not, and you kind of throw it right in between. That's kind of what happened to Ryan Harvey there.
Hands it off to Cockrell, sweeping to the right, and drags a tackler with him down about the 25-yard line as stop made there for the Orioles by Anderson again, but not until he'd advanced it down the field for 18.
Super blocking down the field. He wasn't touched till he was a good 7-8 yards down. Just well blocked up front. These guys are playing physical tonight.
So first down and 10 at the Osseo 25 here. Wayzata trying to build on a 23-0 lead. Hand off to Alfaro Diedrich. And breaks a tackle, keeps the legs churning, and he'll have enough for another first down as he picks up about 11 or 12.
And again, showing his power, not that big. As we talked about, there's that pre-snap motion. And it doesn't take much. The defense slides even just a half a yard. That allows the time for Alfaro Diedrich to get his speed going. And then again, showing those legs, keeping them churning, getting those extra yards.
Got a dozen on that carry. They've done a nice job mixing him in. I mean, he isn't carrying the ball a ton, but boy, it's been pretty positive every time.
And what it does, too, is it keeps both backs fresh, too.
They go back to Alfaro Diedrich, and he will stroll into the end zone for the touchdown. A 13-yard run for Wayzata as he will get his second TD of the night, and the Trojans' lead grows by 6 more.
Yeah, and pretty easy. It's one of the easier touchdowns he's going to get. Well blocked, not much fight or resistance there. Gets to the goal line. And you couldn't have drawn it up any better if you're Coach Lambert Brown, how you want your team to start out with a up 23 at half. You worry about complacency. So far, not the case for Wayzata.
Redney on for the extra point, and he knocks this one through. So Trojans lead now at 30-0 here, about midway through this quarter. And I agree, Osseo just
he might not,
starting to get worn out a little bit.
I don't think he was touched, Jay, until he got into the end zone right there. I mean, you couldn't have blocked that any better. Great vision, too. I'm telling you, I don't think if you're a Wayzata fan, beating Farmington last week. I mean, Farmington's a good team. Played Lakeville South really close earlier in the year. And I think getting that win gave them some confidence, getting those linebackers back healthy, too. You can tell this is a team right now playing with a lot of confidence and momentum.
Yeah, and they closed strong in that game. They got a slant to Birkeland for a touchdown, and then Fox Knutson, who said, helped seal it up. That was a tough win and a good win heading into the playoffs. Different kicker here as Nate Stevie will kick off here for the Trojans this time. And he booms this one back to the 1 yard line.
That's right where you want to kick it.
Green returning, and great coverage again. Oh boy, nowhere to run on that one as he was run down early there.
Tommy Hammond, number 8, chasing him down. But that's a kick. If you kick that a yard further, it's in the end zone, right? He put it exactly perfect.
Yet another thing that's gone well for Wayzata is kick coverage here tonight.
And you see his teammates fired up for him.
So Osseo will have it at their 14-yard line, searching for something offensively. Really their main offensive weapon has been their quarterback running the ball, Fitzgerald. He's going to throw here on first down and out for Green, and this time complete. Hard is there to quickly make the tackle, but unable to break up the pass. Those two have been matched up one-on-one all night long, and this time Osseo wins the battle.
Yeah, I mean, he got a step, and again, I love the call on first down. I don't think Alex Hart maybe was expecting a pass, and he was able to get a step, was Devin Green. Good ball, good concentration, big gain, biggest gain so far of the night.
31 yards out to the 45 of Osseo, so trying to get themselves going a little bit here, down big. And they all got started at different times there. Earlier it was Wayzata that was really shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, and now Osseo certainly had their share too.
Well, I think the last possession for Osseo, if you remember, Jay, was 4th and about 1, and they were going to go for it. They had gotten a first down, and then that penalty moved them back where they had to punt. So again, you get a big pass play, now you're going backwards. Again, those penalties can kill you, kill a drive.
Fitzgerald faking the handoff. He'll keep it himself, and he is rocked pretty good by Chase Ullum there. Be a pickup of 1 for Fitzgerald.
Yeah, didn't get much, obviously, but still a little bit different formation. They went out of the shotgun that time. I like what Osseo is doing offensively here in the second half.
2nd down and 14 here for the Orioles. Fitzgerald trying to sweep left, and he is wrapped up by Hammond. And right about at the line of scrimmage there, so no gain. And Wayzata continuing to shut most things down. Obviously, they had that nice pass play here to get them out to the 45, but then a couple stops in a row for the Trojans.
Yeah, I don't wonder if Osseo doesn't have some type of like counter or reverse out of that, because Wayzata is really focused on stopping that edge, taking the outside away. You can see Fitzgerald really dangerous when he gets into the open field. Wayzata just done a nice job of not letting him get there.
Fitzgerald looking for Green again, and that one will be incomplete. Once again, it's hard over there in coverage. Had him turned around a little bit and bring up a 4th and long for Osseo, and they've got a guy who's a little bit shaken up. It's the tight end Hawthorne down to a knee. Looks like he's going to be all right though. So Clay will drop back into punting formation again here for Osseo. So they got the nice pass play to get things going a little, but then forced to punt again. Presumably, anyway.
Oh, almost blocked again. Good punt.
Very good kick. Birkeland fielding it. And Birkeland stopped as he's out over the 35 to about the 37, maybe 38. Good open field stop there, but the Trojans again get the football in pretty decent field position. Everything kind of rolling for them. They're up 30-0, 4:03 to go here. Birkeland a little shaken up though as he comes to the sideline.
It was a heck of a tackle by Najee Brown-Gray. 53, he's 6'3", 300 pounds, making a pretty good tackle in open space on a elusive player in Berglund too.
First down, Trojans at the 38. Cockrell in the backfield next to Harvey. Fakes the handoff, going out to Lenord. Gets a block, shakes a tackle, and now cutting it back, and he'll be down to the 35-yard line. 27-yard pickup for the Trojans there.
An easy throw and catch. It almost acts as like a run. It's a short pass. You see good blocking by Birkeland, good lineman down the field, and great speed by Lenord too.
Gonna have a flag down here. Must have been some kind of, well, looks like he might be saying illegal substitution. Oh, sideline warning against Osseo. So it won't be any yardage marked off. Usually what that means is somebody's impeded the official who's moving down the sideline and, you know, bumping into them or just getting in their way when they're trying to run, which obviously can be dangerous. Here's a handoff to Cockrell. And Cockrell spills just shy of the first down after about a 9-yard gain.
And just kind of the same rhythm, Jay, we saw in the first half, right? Mixing up short passes with a power, physical running game, and just no negative plays, even, you know, not big plays, going for 6-7 yards. That time you get 9 yards on first down. Got everything in the playbook at your disposal, and quarterback's in a good rhythm, the offensive line's in a good rhythm.
So 2nd and 1 here for Harvey and company. Gonna hand it off to Cockrell. Cockrell cutting it back down to about the 12. Be another gain of about 11 or 12 on this one.
Watch number 55 here, Connor Kraft. You're going to see him in your screen. Look at him sealing off that edge. You get a nice pull. You get around to the edge, and we talked about how Wayzata, blocking the edge for Osseo. Wayzata on offense able to seal that edge, and it's allowing Cockrell Jr. to get to the outside. You know, we always talk about, you show me great running backs and great running stats, I'll show you a great offensive line. So far, they're doing it.
Back to Cockrell, left side this time,
nice
and
play.
Brought down. Staying with it there was Devontae Burnett for the Orioles.
Yeah, he got good push and made a great tackle. That's not easy, bringing someone down 235 pounds, and that was a great effort by Burnett.
Be a 2nd and 9 for Wayzata here. Pretty quick quarter here as they have Run some clock here down a little over a minute and a half to go, and obviously another touchdown would put them into the running time situation for the fourth quarter as well. Alfaro Diedrich getting the handoff this time. A good push as they keep that pile moving, and now his forward progress is stopped inside the 5. He will be short of the first down by a couple.
I think, if you're watching this game, you're thinking, how can they not tackle Alfaro Diedrich? He's 5'9", 180. I'll tell you what, when they're small like that, it's hard to get low enough, and they got such a good center of gravity and balance, too. It's not always easy tackling smaller running backs.
And you can see when he comes off there, too. He's been in the weight room a little bit, no doubt. He's an experienced guy, and he runs and plays like a senior, which he is now. Third and short here for Wayzata. Fake the handoff. Now tossed out in the flat. A nice catch, a nice block, and Berkland will get in. Lenord helped him out to finish that one, and Berkland into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, we saw that play ran earlier in the game till Alfaro Diedrich. That time, the jet motion, they fake it to him. Then they fake the run up the middle, and wide open is Drew Berkland, his second touchdown of the game. We talk about offenses getting into a good rhythm, but as play callers, too, you get into a nice rhythm, and they really got a good momentum here tonight, just a good feel of what to call, when to call it.
Rodney's extra point attempt is up and good, so with 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it's now 37-0 Trojans.
Yeah, and by adding that play action up the middle, it holds those linebackers right there just for a second, and what that does, that allows Berkland to get to the outside, and the linebackers running down the line just can't get there in time. But you got to respect that play action because they've run the ball so well up the middle. That's why in our pregame we talked about just would Wayzata be able to control the line of scrimmage on offense, and they certainly have done that tonight.
Good job there, too, I thought, by Harvey. Berkland hadn't quite gotten himself angled right initially, and so he kind of held the ball just that extra second, not
allowed him to get his balance.
Toss it out there.
He would have thrown it a second earlier. Berkman probably would have fallen down or not been able to turn the corner. Giving him that extra second allowed him to kind of gain himself. Then all he had to do was catch, turn, and easy into the end zone.
Stevie on to attempt will kick off again, I should say. Last time he put it to the goal line. This time it'll be at about the 10 or 11. Ooh, and a physical stop there as LaShawn Madden paid the price on that return. Osseo will have the football just about the 25-yard line. Only 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Again, it's been all Wayzata here tonight.
I love what Coach Stockhouse said at halftime. He's like, we're just going to continue to fight. And that's what you want to see. I don't think Osseo is going to come back and win this game, but you want to see guys fight, and you want to see execution. You want to see your guys finish all the way to the end.
Fitzgerald almost knocked over by his own guy there as big Jerome Williams banged into him. I'm not sure how he stayed up there. They will lose a yard or so on that play.
Not fun. Yeah, not fun when you got 285 pounds of sheer muscle back at India. Nice job just staying on his feet.
That's going to be the end of the third quarter. Wayzata leading after 3, 37-0 over Osseo. The fourth quarter is up next.
Wayzata 37, Osseo 0.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
It's a 37-0 lead here for Wayzata as we get set for quarter number 4. See, the Trojans scored in double digits in each of the quarters so far here, and probably, as Ryan said, it would have been bigger margin earlier if not for those penalties. A couple touchdowns called back by penalties on the Trojans. They've kind of cleaned that part of it up, it seems like, gotten the alignment things figured out anyway. That was a little bit perplexing. The first half they had with either 3 or 4 illegal formations early on.
Yeah, and I talked to Coach about it, Coach Brown, and he was just saying it's a new formation. They had guys kind of in and out, not sure if they were lining up on the line or not.
Fitzgerald's throw is incomplete. And a hard hit delivered there as he tried to go to Madden with that one.
Yeah, you can see Devin Green, number 18, jumping up and down. I think he thought he had his guy beat going deep. That time they threw more intermediate. And took a big hit here, too. Pretty good throw. I mean, just a tad high, but that's one of those you gotta get, when you get your hands on it, you gotta make that catch. I've been pretty impressed with Cade Fitzgerald tonight. How about you? I mean, running hard, couple of good throws. I mean,
Fitzgerald looking deep downfield. Couple receivers over there. There's a flag down on the play as they got all tangled up, and this one might be another pass interference here against Wayzata.
And those two have been going at it all night long, haven't they?
Yep, Hard and Green. And we do also have an injured couple of players. Hard is one of them, and I don't know
Green
for sure
is
if
the other
that's
one.
Green.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yep. Half of it's probably exhaustion. Those two running full speed on every play right by each other. It's been a fun matchup tonight to see. Yeah, it looked like they got their legs tangled with each other because they both went down. See, well blocked. Gave Fitzgerald time. Let's see if we can see kind of.
Yeah, they both spilled into each other, and there's a little holding back and forth there.
Yeah, no question. It's been a physical rivalry tonight. Both players getting handsy. See, Alex Hart looking like he's grabbing at that left leg.
Green helped to his feet. I wonder if that might be cramp the way they're working the foot there. Hard to really tell which receiver that one was to, because they wound up both in the same area. I haven't actually seen the call officially yet. They may be waiting until the injured players are off the field, and it may be a little late discussion.
And they already moved the chain, so they already moved the ball forward.
Yeah, he may have already made the signal. I'm not certain on that. Obviously, we were kind of keeping our eye on the injured guys. So at least both of them able to walk off. So that part's good. But neither feeling great right now. At first I thought it was just inadvertent contact. When we saw that one angle from the end zone look there, it was definitely
getting
a little
pushy,
beyond that. Fitzgerald fakes. Now he'll turn and throw down the sideline again, and it's caught.
Nice catch.
Wow, Clay making the grab. Good heads-up play to still make the tackle, but it looked like Westermeyer didn't really see the ball. He was in pretty good position.
What a great throw. I mean, under pressure, pocket collapsing. Fitzgerald gets a great pass off. And that was a great catch. He kind of got his head around Clay right at the last second, able to make a great catch.
34-yard pickup there for the Orioles.
Yes, they've had 31 and 34-yard passes here in the second half.
Fitzgerald on the keeper here will pick up minimal yardage there, maybe about 1 or so.
Well, you got the pass interference and now that big pass play. Now you got the furthest in Wayzata territory they've been all night. You got to finish this kind of drive off.
Second down and 9 here for the Orioles. Going to hand it off to Clay. Tried to spin out of the tackle of Streeter there and then shove back. And about 3 on the play, it looks like.
But positive yard, setting up that 3rd and manageable here. Nothing going backwards.
Be 3rd and 6 here for the Orioles, trying to get on the board. Ackle taking the handoff here, and he'll be knocked down short of the first down at about the 20 or maybe just inside.
I like the quick runs to the outside. I think they're getting a little bit of more push, able to get their guys in space. It's been pretty clogged up the middle all night long, but if they can get to that outside, they've had some success.
Be 4th and a couple here for Osseo. Trying to keep what's been their best drive alive here tonight.
Yeah, good balance on this drive. Some good runs, a couple of nice passes, the pass interference.
Going to hand it off to Kamara, and he will pick up that first down under about the 16.
Nice drive, good physical run right up the middle. Kamara, a big guy, almost 200 pounds too, but they got good push on the left side there. And a big 4th down conversion, keeping this drive alive. You know, Coach Stockhouse talked about pride. This is where both teams, if you're Osseo, you don't want to get shut out, and if you're Wayzata's defense, you've had such a good game, you don't want to give up any points.
Fitzgerald was looking to throw and then ran out of time, and he'll have to just curl up in a ball and take a sack there.
Yeah, smart play too. I think he knew the pressure was coming. Instead of trying to make something out of there where you could even lose more yards or a fumble or something, knew it was coming, sometimes it's just better to fight another down.
Lost about 4 on that previous play here as we're nearly halfway through the quarter already here with running time still in effect. Zackiel taking the handoff.
Nice
He'll break a tackle and he goes in for the touchdown.
Great cut. I think his first carry tonight, wasn't it? 4th, yeah. He hasn't a ton of carries, but ran to the left and there was really nothing there, but then he turned it to the right and went straight upfield. Great cut and a great drive by Osseo.
Certainly what they were looking for earlier in the game, but they're able to finish nicely on that drive.
Well, they took a couple of shots on first down, and I think it caught Wayzata off guard. They got that pass interference. They got the big pass play, and then some really tough, good runs. A big 4th down conversion, too.
Alexis Rubio on to attempt the extra point, and it is blocked. Streeter got deep penetration.
You see great kick out blocks and then just reading those blocks. Great cutback. Zackiel cut to the right and just went straight up the field. Good speed. Nice way to finish off that drive. And really well blocked up front. Even on that 4th down conversion, Jay, it was Probably the best push we've seen by that offensive line tonight.
So it'll make it a 37-6 score here.
You go onside here and try to keep the momentum going here. What do you got to lose at this point? You see Wayzata's got 9 guys up at the front here expecting the onside kick. You know, I always think when you got a team that's prepared for the onside kick, if you can kind of punch it about 20, 25 yards down on the sideline there, get some of your speed guys on the outside, maybe beat Wayzata to the ball. That might be the better way to go.
Gonna pooch it, and that one will be downed by Lenort.
Yeah, heads up play by Lenort. Nice try, though. I like the idea.
Some of the scores that we've seen around in Class 6A here so far tonight, and actually a few better games maybe than what we were thinking we might see. Now some of them obviously got some ways to go, but and we're going to have a penalty before this one can get going here, as Anyan Gadavardi is the quarterback now for Wayzata. Not terribly often I've ever seen a number 30 playing quarterback. Penalty call was against the Orioles. And they give a little handoff there, nearly a mix-up, but they'll get positive yardage, as taking that handoff was Dan Lovelace for the Trojans, a junior. And an injured player for Osseo. See what happens here. I think it was the tackler who ended up being injured, yeah. I believe. Kamara.
That play ended up going for about 8 yards. I didn't think they...
No, they had the penalty first.
Oh, yeah.
So more like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's hard to see if...
I couldn't tell if somebody landed on him or...
It's a great effort just holding on to the jersey there to make the stop. Yeah, you can see him kind of poking at the legs.
And in pain.
Yeah,
it's kind of the universal sign for, my God, that hurts, when he's holding his head like that and really breathing hard.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the right leg there, looking at it, maybe knee area. Gonna take a timeout and come back and have the remainder of our football game here, and let's hope the young man's all right.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
It is Veo Kamara who was injured, able to get up and walk off, but he was definitely in some pain. And sure, his night is come to an end here as Wayzata have a second down and short coming up here. He handed off to Lovelace
nice
up
play.
the middle, and a nice stop coming in off the edge there for the Orioles was Burnett. Be a loss on the play. So Gadavardi and crew, kind of doubtful they'd go to the air here in this score and situation, but you never know. Gonna hand it off here. Lovelace breaking through a tackle, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down. If they had brought him down instantly, it would have been short of the first down, but he was able to fight through.
Yeah, got contact, nothing up the middle, but smart job, good vision, bouncing it out to the left, able to get that last push forward there, able to get the first down. Right now, if you're Wayzata, that's what you want. You want to keep getting first downs and just tick this clock over, get nobody hurt, and shake hands and get on to that next round.
And a nice run out to the right side, and that'll be another first down picked up for the Trojans as Chase Marion running it.
Yeah, good speed, good burst there through the middle and able to bounce it to the outside. You know, and these guys that are getting some carries now, I mean, they might not seem like it's important, but you're getting some confidence, you're getting some repetition. These are the guys that are going to be playing major roles next year. A lot of running backs, receivers, quarterbacks graduating this year for Wayzata. So important to not only get into these kind of games, but to take advantage of the reps and get some confidence going into that last year.
Back to Lovelace. He'll pick up about 5 before he's brought down by Lundstrom. So Wayzata trying to run the clock down here and secure the victory, leading at 37-6 over Osseo.
It looks like they're going to get a shot to play a #1 seed next week in Stillwater. That'll be out in Stillwater.
Back to Lovelace here and wrapped up and dragged down. Baju with the stop for Osseo. Leave him about 3, maybe 4 yards short of that first down.
Well, Jay, you dressing up for Halloween this year?
That'll not be happening. Third and 4 here. Back to Marion. He was actually knocked forward by the tackler. He'll still be short of the first down, but
I'll tell you one thing, all the Wayzata running backs do is they keep those legs moving. Even these guys that aren't used to getting a lot of carries in the varsity games, you can tell they're coached well, their legs are driving, they always fall forward.
I have a 4th down play coming up here. We're going to have a flag down. So a false start here against the Trojans. Going to be more of a 4th and 6 scenario here now for Wayzata. They do wind the clock again, though, with the running time still in effect after the penalty call here. Kind of looks like Wayzata might just either take a timeout at the end of this or just take a penalty. And going to take a late timeout. Reminder to vote for our CCX Sports Play of the Week. Each Monday you'll have new choices at ccxmedia.org. You click on the Sports tab and then Play of the Week to vote for your favorite. And we had an interesting one about a week ago. A tie, which has not happened before. And so, again, some great response. We've seen a few possibilities already for this week as we're into playoff time in several of the fall sports now, obviously. In fact, most of them. Trojans lining up to go for it here on 4th down. Gonna run it. Quarterback keeps and will get the first down. Nice job there. Gadavardi. I think Osseo obviously was expecting the handoff there. They didn't get it, and it'll be a first down instead for the Trojans. Had a couple of good blocks too. Help free him up there. Down to the 25 he goes, and I think they might need to snap it once more only here, and Wayzata will be able to celebrate a win. They may not even need to snap it anymore. I think if I was the official, I'd say I'm not really going to be counting back here. I might make it seem like I am, but I think they're going to let this time tick off, and they will. And Wayzata, with a strong performance here tonight, will win it over Osseo by a score of 37-6 for their 7th victory of the season, and we'll move on to round 2 in the playoffs, where they presumably will be getting Stillwater, we would think, the number 1 seed out of Section 4. So pretty much a dominant effort from start to finish here for Wayzata here tonight, as they led 10-0 after a quarter and 23-0 at halftime. Final is 37-6. We'll take a timeout. Ryan's going to hear from a happy Wayzata player or two as the Trojans prevail over Osseo here tonight, 37-6.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Wayzata High School. Playoff opener in Class 6A football here tonight, and it is Wayzata rolling over Osseo by a score of 37-6. Ending the season, obviously, for the Orioles, and the Trojans will be moving on to round 2 as we get a look at some of the bracket and people we've had winning so far. Stillwater blowing Egan out, I guess as expected. Wayzata taking care of Osseo. Centennial coming up big. That's one of the two teams to beat Wayzata. That one's still in progress, not a final. And St. Michael Albertville taking it to Burnsville to advance as well. I think when you, not that there weren't some good games tonight, but I think when you get to round 2 is when you can start to see some of those where you go, okay, two pretty good teams that have had very successful seasons might be meeting up. And as we said, the other side of the bracket at Lakeville South, all over Hopkins. Anoka has had a pretty good bounce back year, a program that's been good over the years but not very good lately, and they're doing well. Blaine and Totino was one of those tonight that you could say, yeah, that one could go either way. And Shakopee taking it to Park Cottage Grove. So Lakeville South has certainly had the best year of anybody, and fair to say that they're considered the favorite, but obviously some other pretty good teams along the way too, and Wayzata hoping to prove that they are one of those. Maple Grove obviously has had a very good year too and beat this Wayzata team when they met head-to-head. So a couple strong teams in the area that have a chance to maybe go a little bit this year in the 6A, and also some others in the smaller classes too, in 5A as well. And those games in 5A will be a lot of Saturday games in semifinal round competition for some local teams. Looks like Ryan is ready down on the field. Let's go to Ryan.
Thanks, Jay. With Drew Berkland. Drew, two more touchdowns. You seem to perform really well when CCX is doing these games. What's up with that?
No, big games, I like those too. You guys tend to come out for the big rivalry games and section games, but I like those kind of games too.
Hey, these kind of games are tough, right? You're probably expecting to beat Osseo, but you never really know. How do you stay focused? How do you get the job done? You guys played for a full game tonight, other than some penalties.
Yeah. Well, going into the game, we knew they were a good team, and we treated them like that. We didn't treat them like anything else. I mean, they are a good team, and we just took care of our business tonight, and that's kind of what we had our mindset all week. I mean, we watched film, and we know they're a good team, and we just took care of business.
Offensively, you guys had a couple games this year where you kind of got flat a little bit. It seemed like you got your spark back, running the football really well. Passing game was really effective. What do you guys need to do? You're playing Stillwater next week. That's official now. What do you got to do offensively to keep this momentum going?
Yeah, we got to establish both our run and pass game first. Starts with a run. In our offense, when we run the ball, our pass game opens up, and when we do that, I don't think anybody can stop us. When we got both when we got our pass and run game working off of each other, I feel like we're really tough to beat. And with our defense playing the way they are, I mean, all credit to them too. I mean, they've kept teams really low scoring all year, even the games we've lost. I mean, we've had a chance offensive wise, and they've just kept us in it. So that's what. Yeah.
I know when I was a player, I always kept tabs on the other good teams. Have you watched Stillwater at all? Are you familiar with your bracket? Do you know who you have to beat? Do you know anything about them going into next week?
Honestly, I haven't watched too much film. That starts tomorrow morning. But, I mean, I know they're the one seed in our bracket. I mean, it's time to just take care of business. I mean, the underdog mentality, who cares? Let's just go out and play.
All right, here's a big question for all our viewers. Drew Berkland last year as a defensive back versus Drew Berkland as a receiver. Who wins that matchup?
Wow. I'd say the more experienced receiver wins that one.
Drew Berkland wins that one. Is that the answer? All right. Well, congrats on a great game. Good luck next week. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan. Congratulations to Berkland and the Trojans here as they win this one over Osseo, and again, we'll face Stillwater on the road next week. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. Trojans kind of dominated from the start. 37-6, Wayzata over Osseo. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Wayzata.